a juror, in the Parkland massacre trial has revealed that negotiations got very tense as they debated whether the shooter should be put to death. Nicholas Cruz, 24, will spend the rest of his life in prison after he murdered 17 people at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, in 2018. Cruz avoided the death penalty after a jury decided that he should be sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for 17 counts of first-degree murder. The 12-person panel found that prosecutors established aggravating factors that warranted a death penalty, but those aspects were outweighed by mitigating circumstances put forth by the defense. Mitigating circumstances are reasons to show a defendant mercy. The decision did not come without controversy, with one juror revealing that some wanted Cruz to be sentenced to death. One juror wrote, in a letter to Judge Elizabeth Shearer. One of the jurors, in this case heard jurors who voted for the death penalty stating that I had already made up my mind on voting for life before the trial started. This allegation is untrue, and I maintained my oath to the court that I would be fair and unbiased. The deliberations were very tense, and some jurors became extremely unhappy once I mentioned that I would vote for life. I just wanted to make you aware of this matter. Failed the families. Family members of victims were in shock when the decision was made, with many loved ones slamming the ruling. This jury failed our families today, said Fred Gutenberg, whose 14-year-old daughter, Jamie, was killed in the shooting. 17 families did not receive justice. Max Schachter, whose 14-year-old son Alex was gunned down, said that Cruz was a sociopath who should have been sentenced to death. We thought he was going to be held accountable for his actions, he said after the hearing, adding that he and his wife were devastated by the decision. Tony Montalto, whose daughter Gina was killed in the Parkland massacre, called the jury's decision not to impose the death penalty pretty unreal. The monster that killed them gets to live another day, he said after the ruling. Society has to really look and re-examine who and what is a victim. Governor Blast's decision. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis was also disappointed by the jury's decision, saying that he didn't believe anything else is appropriate except a capital sentence. Cruz's brother Zachary released a statement, saying that he agreed with the jury's decision on a life imprisonment sentence, which he called worse fate than death. My thoughts and prayers go out to the families of the victims of my brother's crimes. In the coming days and weeks, I will have much to say about the Broward State Attorney's Office and that Broward School Division, Zachary said. Today is not the day for that. Today is a day for the victims to find peace in knowing that this legal process is finally over. My brother was sentenced to life in prison today. While many people wanted death, I know my brother will be forced to live with what he did for what may be a very long time. In the long run, that may be a fate worse than death, and it is the fate he deserves for committing heinous crimes against innocent people. Sentencing date. Cruz won't be formally sentenced until November 1st. Family members of the victims will have one more chance to present victim statements on how the horrific tragedy has impacted them. Although the jury has reached its verdict, Cruz previously said that he felt the victims' families should decide his fate, in statements about 1 year ago. I hope you give me a chance to try to help others. I believe it's your decision to decide where I go and whether I live or die, not the jury's decision. I believe it's your decision. I'm sorry, he said. At the time, Cruz explained to the courtroom and the victims' families that he was very sorry for what he had done, and that he lives with his actions every day. Cruz came to the MST campus in Parkland, Florida, at around 2:19 p.m. on Valentine's Day in 2018. After making his way through an unguarded security gate and assembling an AR-15 that he hid in a bag, Cruz opened fire for 6 minutes. He fatally shot 17 people and wounded 17 others in the massacre. Cruz later explained to a Missouri neuropsychologist named Robert Denny that he committed the horrific act to ruin Valentine's Day. He said that no one loved him, and he wanted to ruin the day. "I didn't like Valentine's Day, and I wanted to ruin it for everyone," he said. After Denny pressed further, asking if he wanted to ruin the holiday for the families of the victims, Cruz explained that it was all about the school's celebration of it. "No, for the school. The holiday will never be celebrated there again," Cruz said.